What I feel never gets enough love from the TTRPG community is TTRPGs other than D&D. This is more about the casual players of TTRPGs who joined the group running the most widest spanning game and thought D&D was the game. And I've seen stories of people who've met other TTRPG players who genuinely didn't know there were games other than D&D, which is crazy because there are so many and they are so good. Hello everyone and welcome to Dungeon Bit, and I want to make videos about the greats you may never have heard of or played, and today I'm going to go over some of my favourite Rules Lite games. You may prefer more rules intensive games, which I'll make a video on in the future, but for now, Rules Lite just means systems that don't require 3 whole books to make work. Their rules are simple, so you can have more narrative-focused gameplay. You won't be making builds or working out the aerodynamic capabilities of a body shape of a cow, that sort of thing. And turning the spotlight on you, if you have any games that you want me to, cover, if there's any sort of genre of TTRPGs you want me to cover, like solo RPGs, rules-intensive RPGs, genre-specific, IP-specific, anything that you can think of, if you want me to cover them, let me know in the comments. And of course, let me know your favourite TTRPG that isn't D&D. And first up we have Everyone is John, which might be the most simple game on this list. It's a one-page rule set by Michael B. Sullivan, where you play as John. To play the game, there is a GM and the players who all play the same character, John, or at least you play a personality in John's head, or just a voice or impulse in his head rather than a split personality situation. Each player has to gamble with chips to take control of John and try and complete their unique objective. That can be anything from eating a banana to becoming the president. The players roll a d6, having to roll over a certain number, or a lower number if they have a skill to help them out, and if they fail the roll, someone else takes control. If your group likes simple fun that can even be busted out at a party, or if you need an emergency one-shot to pull out of your butt, then you will love this game, and it's free, so check it out. Next we have a popular one, a beloved one, Honey Heist by Grant Howitt, who I suggest you check out, by the way. He makes a lot of great one-page RPGs, but I hope this one will be your way into the door to check out the rest of his amazing work. Honey Heist is a slick and simple game where you play as bears trying to steal honey, and if Everyone is John was open so any amount of hilarious situations can happen, Honey Heist has a focus on the heist tropes in movies, but there's more. You can make your characters and the heist will be performing at the table in mere minutes, with just some simple dice rolls. Your bears can get disguises like a fez, roles in the party like the driver, and be retired or slick. And remember, I'm talking about bears. Bears like pandas, sun bears, polar bears, and honey badgers. Its main mechanic is a simple roll of a d6 or 2d6 if you use something unique to your bear. You also have to manage a sliding scale of your criminal and bear points that you don't want to go to the extremes of, otherwise your bear does something bad and is gone from the game, like becoming a criminal, revealing themselves to be a criminal disguised as a bear, or just going full bear and killing everyone. But what makes this game shine even brighter is definitely the flashback mechanic, whereby you can roleplay through a flashback scene to explain why you have this key, why you have this disguise, how you have this map, all the stuff that you see in the heist movies, like the whole aha, this was my plan all along, and I'll tell you how. If you want a silly, story-heavy, and super creative simple TTRPG, give Grant Howitt some love. And next we have Goblin Quest by Standalone Games, which is super cheap and contains full colour art and a lot of fun content within. One of the many unique things about this game, each player plays a clutch of 5 goblins, each, who are trying to complete a series of objectives to get a number of successes to complete their Goblin Quest, which the players all decide together at the beginning of the game. Goblin Quest works on the simple d6 framework where the d6 becomes 2d6 if you use your skill, and each player's clutch of goblins has the same skill and descriptors. However, instead of pools of hit points, each of your goblins has 2 hit points that they lose whenever they roll low on a dice. Either of the 2d6s if you roll 2, which means if you use your skill, you have double the chance of success and double the chance of failure. And there are many ways to play this game. Instead of a GM deciding when you have sufficiently moved through the adventure to success, your progress is indicated by a number of required successes that you need to get. So, this game can be played through without a GM, and everyone playing at the table actually gets to play. I've played this game with different groups, and everyone that I played with has loved it. It's just the essence of fun condensed into a game for all to play together. This next entry is very different from the last three, and very different from most TTRPGs, and that is Microscope by Ben Robbins at Lame Mage Productions. He is also the maker of Kingdom, if you've heard of that. Microscope isn't a game where you play a single character or a clutch of goblins, but is instead more of a collaborative story builder. There is no character creation or session zero because the point of the game is to make the world's history together. The players all grab pens and paper and add to a timeline of periods, events, and scenes. The scenes are where your group gets to choose characters and improv an actual, well, scene in your timeline, and it's refreshing to be able to work together on letting your creativity flow. I love this game. Imagine using this system to build a world that your players would then play in with another system, or players who say that I could never GM could be let into the door of how fun it can be to world build, so they want to give it a try themselves. Check it out. If you want an easy game that could be run as a campaign, check out Easy D6 by DM Scotty. Not only is the system easy, as the title describes, but has so much good GM information and tips to help you be a better GM in any game. The game uses D6s, and there is so much depth in such simple rules. You will deeply enjoy it if you prefer creative solutions over character sheet consulting to solve problems. And here's a little odd duck. BORG and BORG, published by Free League Publishing, have proved to be quite polarizing games. Ones that I happen to love. You'll find grim fantasy and grim cyberpunk games, respectively, and the rules are quite simple compared to other games in the market where you only have 4 stats, no skills, some abilities, armor and weapons, and a frighteningly low amount of health. The players, most of the time, just need to roll a d20 and add a bonus and try to roll 12 or over. The gameplay is simple and character creation is made nearly instant by the accompanying Scumbirther app, since your characters will likely die horribly. And of course, I have to mention that the rulebooks are some of the most unique creations you can buy and own. The pages are laid out with so much passion and vibrancy, with everything bold and brutal to view to perfectly match the games they're in. But if you're looking for a book to refer back to just quickly check something, then you are out of luck with these books. They are brutal systems that allow for creativity and story-driven gameplay that heavily lean into the dark tones to a hilarious degree. Check them out if you love art and appreciate things done with passion and uniqueness, even to an extreme metal eye-gouging degree. The next entry might ruffle some feathers on the Rules Lite category, but Powered by the Apocalypse games by The Bakers are fantastic games into story-first gameplay. I love Apocalypse World a lot. The first time I read it, I was amazed. The options and mechanics made for a very fun apocalypse genre game, but its conception has allowed for other people to come along and make games using the same framework. Games such as Brindlewood Bay, a daytime TV mystery show RPG where you play as old ladies, escape from Dino Island to perfectly encapsulate playing your own version of Jurassic Park, and for a game with finesse, fighting and flirtatious interactions, you could play Thirsty Sword Lesbians. What, that's its name? There are so many incredible games using this framework that there will be definitely one perfect for your group. We have been increasing in complexity if you haven't noticed, and these last 2 games may have the most rules in them, but way less than other games. But the ones you do have let you do very unique and fun things, the first being Wildsea by Mythworks. A very unique setting where an apocalypse has left the world's plans to grow exponentially until it is blanketed by massive trees that your group sails atop like a sea of green. Thus the name. Your players will love this if they love your adventures alongside unique world building to explore. The players all travel in vessels designed to sail through the rustling waves as a group of wild sailors. The combat is not made to be a tactical ball of complexity, and instead the whole game has a focus on story hooks and dividing the world as you explore it. If your players want to try something unlike the tactical combat RPGs, but love fantasy and adventure, check out Wildsea. And lastly, I'm going to cover Salvage Union by Leyline Press, which is where your players all play different classes in an apocalyptic world, all using their mechs to salvage and adventure. Unlike other games like Lancer, which is a much more rules-heavy and complex system for mech operation, Salvage Union scales back the complexity but gives a beautiful wealth of choices to make cool characters and their mechs. The game is a bit brighter and light-hearted in some areas, rather than the usual dismal tones of most apocalyptic fictions, and the way you can customize mechs to be great for storing salvage, but not great in fights, super fast mechs for traversal, or battle-ready mechs to fight bio-titans and other setting-specific enemies is all just an absolute joy to read through and play through. But I want to finish on this. No matter what you play, what your group plays, try to ignore a-holes online. I've received so many comments saying that I should play something other than D&D, and it's so funny to see a D&D tuber discover games other than D&D. Nerds, geeks, love to complain. The things that I love most, Evil Dead, Lord of the Rings, Fallout, I could criticize them for hours because I've thought about and enjoyed them so much. But there are so many people who were bullied in school and call their bullies the bad guys in their lives, so they couldn't possibly be the bad guys, they're the nice guys, while being massive gatekeeping a-holes to those that are new or don't like what they like, because their things are superior. Like whatever you like. If it doesn't hurt anyone or break any laws, then play whatever TTRPGs you want to play. Try new things. These games are times for fun and memories, so don't let that joy be squashed under the sweaty feet of online a-holes. I'm Ellis. Leave a like to help out the channel and check out the description for my socials and products. Also, click the video on screen if you want to make great villains for any TTRPG you run. I love you all, and I'll see you next Saturday.